In this video, we're going to continue with illumination in Twinmotion. So we will continue to experiment with lights. And in the previous scene, we experimented with some studio lights, like the three-point lining system, and also some other effects related to lights in Twinmotion. And we use this kind of an interior because this is kind of a studio set. So it's more like an interior. So we are only using artificial lights. In this video, we're going to move into another type of interior, which is more like for architecture. And we're going to use, again, natural light in combination with artificial lights. So in the previous video, we saw how we can use emissive materials, essentially, or also called neon materials, in Twinmotion. And by applying this type of material, we can turn anything into a lighting device. Also, a text like this, which is not created in Twinmotion, but I created this text in another 3D software because at the moment we cannot create text, 3D text in Twinmotion. So you need to create it in another 3D application. In my case, I've used Blender just like other cases, and I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. It's really, really easy to create a 3D text in Blender, even if you are a beginner. So I run a lot of renderings here to try to understand which one looks better from path tracer and real-time render. Now, sometimes they're really similar, or they actually are pretty different, but they have similar qualities. And some effects are not displayed in path tracing. Some other are. So depending on the scene, you know, that there is a lot of difference between real-time and path tracer or not. So my suggestion is always run the path tracer to see how is the effect looking like. But many times I found out that also the real-time render is really good. And in addition to that, it has a lot of effects that makes it more interesting and beautiful. And of course, it has also animation. So animation is definitely really cool. You can see we also have like animated lights, but we will talk about animation in the final part of the course, and also about how we can increase the quality of the rendering. We're still talking about that because when we set up a artificial lighting system like three-point lighting, or when we set up the exterior, this is also working for the quality of the rendering. A good rendering needs to take into account the lighting system, as well as the materials and the objects that you have placed. So if objects aren't good, or materials aren't good, or lighting isn't good, the render will not be good. If you work good with lighting and materials, sometimes you don't even have to address the render settings too much. So we used cycloramas in the previous lesson to create this real 3D studio. It's not an HDRI, so we can use cycloramas in this version of Twinmotion to create an actual 3D scene, a 3D context. So then we added the basic lights, so the omni lights, cone light or spotlight, and neon light or linear light, and area light. So these are the 4 basic lights that you can use. And then you have a set of IES effects or IES lights that you can use more for interiors, and we're gonna see how we can work with them in this video right here. So you either use a fake 3D environment with the HDRI, and you can do outdoor, indoor, whatever, or you actually build something in 3D, which could be really basic photographic studio like this one here, or could be something more complex like an entire city, or something, you know, real vegetation, real 3D objects in your scene. So HDRI is probably an IBL, so image-based lighting is probably the fastest and the simplest. But if you want to have like some more effects and you want to play with lights, you need to move forward with the lighting. And this is what we are doing in this set of videos dedicated to lighting in Twinmotion. So here you can see I'm now working with the Omni backlight, because sometimes you see the reflections and you probably don't want to see the lights reflected. So you have a reflection parameter in the light, which I am right now editing. So if you want to decrease the reflection, you can do it from there, or also try not to use reflective materials, because of course reflective materials are going to reflect light a lot, but we also can improve reflections. We're going to see it later on with reflection probes. And you can see I am moving here in the various environment, camera, render, FX, image tabs, because this is where you basically adjust, do a little bit of post-production, decide the output of your render. And when you're ready, you go in the export panel, and then you click on export. Now you can decide, when you export the render, you can decide if you want to do a render using the real-time renderer or the path tracer renderer. And if you see down below in the media panel that we are now seeing, you can see that some of those are path tracer, some of those are real-time. And you can tell that by a little triangle, which is on the like top left side of the thumbnails. So that's gonna tell you if that's prepared for path tracer or is real-time. So right now, what we're doing is an export for this real-time, which in my opinion, it looks really cool, looks really beautiful. And not like 100, not the top realism, but I think it's fair for what I need to do in most cases. So when you export and you select the scenes that you have saved and then you want to export, you can see you can select all, or you can filter by path tracer and real-time render. So right now we are seeing everything. You can deselect all, you can select all. You can see here I am in the export tab, so I can select just one or the whole views that I've saved previously, and then I export. So again, you can decide. You can see the little icon right here, triangle on the top left of the thumbnail. You can decide if you want to prepare something for path tracer and export using path tracer, like this one here, for example, or if you want to use real time. And again, my suggestion is export in both. So try with both render engines, because perhaps a simpler scene like this could look better using real time instead of path tracer. Now you can see there on the back, the Omni lights are being reflected, so I don't really like that. So I either hide that using something and put it behind, or I use sometimes Photoshop and hide those out. So you can see now the character is just in front and we cannot see the Omni reflections on the back. So this one here is real time. We can tell by the fog caused by the Omni light and the haze effect. So this is real time, and it looks, in my opinion, in this case, better than the render version, which is this one here, the path tracer version. So sometimes it's better the real time. Now you have more accuracy with the light, with the materials, with path tracer, but depending again on the situation, they could be really similar in a way. So sometimes I prefer real time and the effects that I do with real time. Now, if you go in details here in the export tab, you can also increase the quality of real time render by selecting the refinement to high, and then here max lighting, you can see is gonna improve the quality of global illumination when you render in real time mode. And if you want, you also have 3D mode. Now 3D mode is when you use stereoscopic glasses. So if you have like a device like a TV or a projector that can create 3D, and you have the glasses, well, you can use this to have that effect. So it's going to render, basically, you can see two-sided image. So one is the left side, one right side of the left eye, right eye. So if you have the glasses and you have a device, they're going to be like overlapped, and you will see in 3D, and that's really cool. So how we can do the text in Blender is really easy. In Blender has the add text feature. So if we go here, we go to add text, it's really easy. So there we go. The text is there, but it's flat. So if you want it 3D, you just go to the add modifier, use solidify, and that's